All right. What is going on, y'all? It is a Monday. Trying to sneak some of this stuff in here before I continue on to what my normal Monday is, which is watching some Monday Night Football, sitting at home with the fam and getting together on that. But boy, oh boy, it is Monday, and we said we were going to talk about it, and we're going to talk about it. The crazy thing about a night like last night is you're tested. Your fandom is tested. Your fandom is tested as far as are you really a Falcon fan, or are you are you just, I don't know. Let me restart, and that's a horrible start for a live show. Thank y'all for joining me anyway on a Monday evening. There's been a lot of anger over the last 24 hours, as I'm expecting there would be, and including me, and including friends of mine, and I'm pretty sure being on the other side of the trolling, as we all were seconds away from trolling every Dallas Cowboy fan for at least a year. Then came that ridiculous onside kick decision to not touch the ball. And even 24 hours later, man, it still hurts. And you know why it hurts? Because it was kind of stupid. I don't even want to say kind of stupid. I've listened to the excuses. I've watched the interviews on AtlantaFalcons.com, and I'm listening to Dan Quinn. And I didn't get a chance to hear the coaches show today that they have on 92.9 The Game. But I'm at a point where your excuses are just so empty to me right now, because we've seen this over and over and over again. So again, just like last week, instead of having the Monday evening recap, as I'm waiting to have, we're going to have Monday evening rehab for the second week in a row. And the Monday evening recap will happen when we get that first win. But right now, it's the Monday evening rehab, and just trying to see where everybody is as far as this team is concerned. Thank y'all for joining me. Go down the list and see who we got going on. Martavius, how you doing, brother? He says my blood is still boiling. Boss says I'm done with Quinn. I think that's a lot of you. Steven Jackson, how you doing, my brother? Brother Micho, what is going on? My brother Bobby, Blossom Gang, it is his birthday today. You guys wish him a very happy birthday. I think he turned 19 today. I'm just joking. A very young-looking 49 today. Happy birthday, my brother. Done with both until changes are made. We need strict leadership on this team. Okay, back to birthday shenanigans. Lisa says, hey, Steve, I would say rise up, but after yesterday, I'll just say, hey. And I think that, look, they don't even deserve the up part. We have to rise because we're going to wake up, but they don't deserve the up part. Not today, at least. Sean, brother Sean, how you doing? Say I called out of work because Sean, and see, here's the thing. I'm off today. So the great thing about being off on Mondays is that if we do lose, you get that one day that everybody can get it out their system. So by the time I come in Tuesday, it's not as bad, but I got a feeling folks are gonna give it to me anyway because I am who I am, man. Brandon says casual observer. I need more than that, Brandon. Talk to me, brother. Lisa, again, we're on a traumatized fan base. Arthur Blank has to know this, and that's the thing, man. Listen, Arthur. I just need you to send me a sign. Look, give us a wink. I feel y'all. Give me a wink to let you know that you're feeling what we're feeling and you're not on the plane patting Dan on the back talking about, oh, it'll be okay. I have to know that you care about what's going on in this fan base. I think you do. But then there's sometimes that I just feel like, Arthur, dude, I got to see, I've got to hear from you personally, man. Damien says, Lisa said, one of my friends called me literally screaming into the phone asking why did none of the Falcons players try to cover the ball. Corey, my brother Corey, said Dan Quinn looks crazy. Lisa, Stephen A. Smith said we were the dumbest team in the modern football era. I do not disagree at all. Twan, Uncle Steve, I honestly don't know. I'm just frustrated because we are chokers, known as chokers, known as soft, and I'm tired of it. Fred, what's going on, Fred? How you doing, man? On suicide watch. Please don't be on suicide watch, but that's why y'all are in on the rehab today, so we can all be good. But listen, I feel you, man. It's, and that's where you kind of, and that's why I enjoy these lives and I enjoy interacting because sometimes you think you're the only person fan-wise that feel these games like you do. And really, no, everybody feels that depression or feels that sadness because one, your team is not winning. But the difference yesterday, I don't even think it's as much as depressed. Even with the Super Bowl win, as much as we can sit there and blame everything on, Tom Brady's comeback, there was a sadness because it was all over. It was the championship game. And while I never came to tears, there was such a down when that Super Bowl happened because you say you don't know when the next time that's going to happen. And as we're finding out, it's not happening for a while. Yesterday, you were just pissed off. I mean, yesterday embodies the majority of Dan Quinn and how he loses. I have no problem losing to a team if I see we did the majority of the things right, that we gave a good effort, and that it looked like everybody was paying attention, but the other team was just better. I don't have a big problem with that. Now, a lot of that was last week with Seattle. Seattle is a better team, as we saw yesterday. Right now, at this moment, Seattle is playing better football than Atlanta Falcons. So, kind of surprised we stayed as long as we did. But what hurt me about this one yesterday, Dallas survived 3 fumbles, a 20-point deficit, and was able to turn all of that around and then layer on top of the cake, the icing on the cake is the foolishness of these coaches not to explain to your guys the rules about onside kicks. And I'm sorry, we're going to be talking about it. We're going to talk about it and talk about it until we get it all out. Y'all join me at 1-877-747-2346. We're going to start taking calls a little earlier than normal. Usually I come down with my points and stuff like that, but I see everyone coming online. I just wanted to get a hello to everybody before I got started. But hey, y'all want to talk? Let's do it. Caller, how you doing? Identify yourself, and thanks for joining me.
Hey, Stephen.
What's going on?
Man,
you failed the rule. You got to identify yourself.
Steven.
That you, Jackson?
Steven.
Oh, what's going on, man?
Hey, brother.
Hey, look, I apologize, man. What's going on? Listen, I'm probably in a phase right now, man. Go ahead, man. Talk to me. Tell me what you're feeling.
Well, I didn't get excited yesterday when we got ahead. I even told a friend of mine that at halftime that we would need to score 45 points before I felt comfortable. And when we went for the 2 points in the first half, I was like, oh, no, we didn't need to do that. And I was pissed that we let off the gas on defense. Yeah, and there was some injuries, but at the same time, they weren't playing the same in the second half.
That's true. This is true.
And the icing on the cake for me was when the ball just rolled and rolled, I was physically sick. And I was wishing for Dan Quinn to be fired today, but I knew in reality and from past years that our blank wasn't going to do anything today or yesterday.
But wasn't there a thought that you thought just an inch where you said, man, I know Arthur Blank's going to make a move tonight? Wasn't it? Just a little bit?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
And now that it didn't happen, I'm still going to be a Falcons fan, but I'm not going to put any emotional energy into this team this year until Dan Quinn is gone. It's not working.
It is sad that, and I'm glad you said that. It's sad when the fans have to make a decision like that, but it's true.
Right.
And
I've been going to Falcons games for over 40 years.
Wow.
And I'm like, man, I'm tired. I'm sick of it. But
Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, I'm still a fan. I'm just not gonna put any emotional energy into this team this year. It's not working.
So Steve, it's 24 hours later, and we've all calmed down, and we've all had a chance to digest. You already answered the question of the day. You said you're done with Quinn, not with the Falcons, which I have a feeling is going to be the overriding thing. But give me one thing, and I asked this last week after Seattle. It's 24 hours later, after the stink and the nasty of losing. Give me the one silver lining that you got at least from a part of the game, or even an individual of the game from yesterday.
My golden nugget from yesterday is that we have a high-powered offense. No matter how many times people complain about Matt Ryan, he did his job yesterday. He didn't make too many mistakes, if any. Our defense has possibilities, but we just got to have that killer instinct.
I don't doubt you. I'm going to steal your golden nugget for the rest of the day, just to let you know. I was trying to think of something to say for that. Brother, I appreciate you calling. Thank you so much, man. And please call back and join us again, okay?
Okay, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, sir. All right. I'm thinking that's the overall thought process that's going on in this group. I think that's what it is. Just that we want to support this team. We want to be there for you. We want to show you that we are, we're behind you. But we don't want to be taken. We don't. And I think that's the part that's disturbing. I think is the organization ignoring what the fans are feeling and what they're saying. I'm not trying to say I know all the ins and outs of what's going on behind the scenes in Flowery Branch and maybe some of the reasons why we can't. Yeah, I understand. If you get rid of Quinn, that's a whole new thing that you're starting up. But I have to ask the question, is the organization paying attention to us? Caller, how you doing today? This is Steve. Thank you for joining us. Identify yourself.
Well.
Hey, what's going on, brother? I figured you were going to be calling. I think I saw your message right before we went on, man. So listen, everybody knew they were going to have to get their dose of of John Harris. So here is me laying back and letting him go at you for a couple of minutes. My brother, the floor is yours.
You know that spoon full of castor oil you used to hate to take?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It was good for you. You know, it was, you know, it didn't taste good, but it helped to get over whatever. That big vapor rub they used to warm up that's supposed to be on the outside, they made you eat it.
I like the smell of the vapor rub, though.
It smells good, but man, you sit up there eating petroleum. Now, man, you know, I went on right after the game. I don't know if you, well, no, it was some hours after the game because I had worked about 14 hours Saturday.
Oh, wow.
And just had enough energy to get up and watch the game and fall asleep bad.
That was tough.
And man, it was, now, the Falcons, literally, this is what the Falcons did. I don't know if it's realized tonight, but the Falcons said, we can top what we did in the Super Bowl. Just hold my fear. Just hold my fear. Just let me show you how I can take the elevator below the third parking deck. That's exactly what you saw yesterday. That's exactly what you saw yesterday. And I've always said, and I'm an offensive person because the offenses win games. You know, you can't win a game playing, can't even score playing defense. You know,
right.
And the thing is about this yesterday, you found yourself in a shootout because it looked like a conscious effort to try to take time off the clock in the second half instead of scoring. You know, you were in a shootout yesterday. New England was in a shootout with Seattle last night. Okay? And when you get in a shootout, you know, you're supposed to be prepared. No matter what type of game you have, you're supposed to be prepared. Now, the defense, man, look, they backed off. The defense backed off. They weren't rushing. They weren't tearing the cup off of the ball like they were in the first quarter. In the first quarter, that was just beautiful. It was a portrait. It was a masterpiece.
Well,
but then you went and got some gas and burnt the picture up.
Well, before I let you go, because I got people online today, so next time you're gonna have to pull yourself up on screen and catch me again. I apologize for missing. I think I see your message now. I was up doing some stuff earlier. I might have to catch you later. I do have one thing to put on him, brother Brandon Marshall, that we know well. He put something up here, and I think we got to put you on the spot, brother. For at least yesterday, you gotta owe Matty Ice a little bit of an apology for yesterday. I think Matt did his thing yesterday.
Ryan did better than he did previous. I forgive him that.
And look, Brandon and anybody else, that's probably the best you gonna get. That's the best you gonna get.
That's the best deal I can get. And look, now, you know, you're gonna have to pay for some, at least the shipping and handling, but you know.
Right. All right, so I'm gonna ask you the one question, and then I'm gonna let you roll so we can get these other folks in here. Done with Quinn or done with the Falcons? I know your answer already.
Look, I'm done with Quinn.
Yeah, okay.
Look, man, I can't. This is my hometown team.
Right.
Hometown team. No matter how bad or how good still my hometown team. And Dan Quinn signed his death warrant same way that Mike Smith did over there in London. Remember that?
Oh, absolutely. Hey, sneak me a text, brother, and holler at me in a little bit so we can get together on this, man. I appreciate you sliding in. I'm gonna holler at you.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. All right, John. I judging by what I see, I know some of y'all may not be his favorite person, but the one thing I have always said to myself, his opinions. Sometimes you got to have opinions that might not be lined up with yours. I don't have a problem. That's why he and I get along so well, because we have battled many a days and nights about some of these things with the Falcons. But on some days, he ends up being the great genie and is able to, tell the truth about some of this stuff. And hey, at least he was man enough to apologize for the Matt Ryan yesterday. And then Matt did look good yesterday. That ruined. Listen, if you said it was somebody that you wanted to step up their game from Seattle to Dallas, he did. And if you look at some of the throws Matt made, those across the field throws, those ones that folks that normally you see the little pick six on when you throw across and guys jump across and get the pass. He threw some nice passes yesterday. Actually had more drops than anything yesterday as well. Looking at some of the comments on here, brother Keelan says, I'm done with Quinn. The excuses are also empty to me. Eric says, why is Dan still employed today? Brother Eric, I don't know. Jimmy Wayne, how you doing? Brother Jimmy Wayne at Hallway Conversations. Y'all check his podcast out if you get a chance. And man, John don't need to say anything. My brother Jerry is, how you doing, Jerry? Said, we always find a way to wet the bed. Coaching matters. The disappointing thing about this whole waking up and not getting anything from the organization is because, as I've heard everyone say, Pop Warner, high school, college, I don't think I've ever seen a team look at the ball and let it roll. I'm telling y'all, if somebody fell on the ball and it squirted, I would have given them props for at least trying to make a play. But that disturbs me that no person, they have the little picture circulating with the five of them looking at the football like it's the coronavirus or something, or trying to stay away from it. And it's just so bizarre to me to just fathom what would tell you not to drop on that ball. And that's coaching. That's coaching. That is straight up coaching. So I'm done with that. I right now I am an Atlanta Falcon fan, but it's going to be hard for me to give any love to Dan Quinn. I did what I called a scientific poll yesterday and asked people to respond with love emojis or like emojis, whether you wanted to fire Quinn or not. I think out of 100, I think the last count I had, it was like 170 people put in there. I think it was only 6 that would like keep him around. Carla, how you doing? This is Steve. Thank you for joining me. Identify yourself.
Hey, Steve, it's bandwagon. Hey,
what's going on, brother? Thank you for joining me again today, brother. Hey, look, after yesterday, please tell me you're feeling a little better this morning or this evening.
Well, I
mean, you know what, man? After we lose, man, it's always, I already know because I'm in Saint territory, so get over lost real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if I don't, Monday it's gonna be real rough for me. But I mean, after digesting that one yesterday, man, it was, I mean, you gotta be kind of, I guess, okay with where you see our offense is right now.
Right.
Defense, I mean, the D-line, I guess as long as we, have all men, all hands on deck, I think we good there. I mean, it was I mean, people say what they want about Tech, but it was definitely a difference once he went out of the game.
I was going to bring that up, and I'm glad you brought that up. Tech has been kind of a force. And listen, even back in the Seattle game, if you look in the second half, I think when Tech has got some different motor, and he has motivation this year. But that was a big difference. When he left that game, you can tell Stephen Means was in there and not him.
Right.
And that was
Dunlap is just the invisible man right now.
Yeah. I don't know. Look, we might be at a point now. The good news, we did get on some of the injuries. I know they said McGarry looks like he may only miss a week. So they say he had a sprain. And say what you want. I know McGarry ended the year with a lot of controversy, but say what you want to say. That offensive line, man. What did you see from the offensive line this game? That's the first time I've said, hey.
I thought that's McGarry left.
Oh, my goodness. Gono, I'm almost wondering. Well, the good thing is McGarry is a rookie. Gono is, he's not. I think he's undrafted, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right about that? Somebody check that for me. I think he's undrafted. So if he is, he's not a big money guy. So the fact that he came in and you really didn't miss a beat is encouraging.
It
is. So let me ask you, and I'm going to ask you, and I know you're going to be straight up with me. What do you think, Quinn? Are you done with Quinn? Or are you done with the Falcons?
You know what, man? I think we should have parted ways with Quinn after he went 0-6 last year.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, but right now I'm trying to see where Austin Blank's head is. I feel like he's sacrificing this season if he allows us to lose 2 more times, because you got 3 teams in our division that potentially could lose no more than 5 games.
I agree with you. I look at New Orleans. That's a tough game New Orleans has in an hour too, though. I think that Vegas. Look, Jacobs is the truth, and I think that's going to be a really good test. And they don't have Michael Thomas, but what people don't have to realize is, this is sad, but the season is not over, right?
Yeah, it's not over, but I feel like you're potentially, sacrificing the season, and then look at what happened last year. We go 0-7?
Yeah. Yep. And, 1-7 coming out.
All of a sudden, we give Quinn another chance. They, go 6-2. Not only that, we keep a coach that's probably not going to get us anywhere, and we lose out on draft position. So we lose on top of losing, and it's, that's frustrating part about being a Falcons fan right now.
I agree with you 100%. My brother, thank you as always for giving me a call. Please join us back, man. We're glad to have you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, sir. Great points. Kilo, thank you, brother. Gano was undrafted. I thought he was. Brandon, I see your comment saying Tack's groin is going to linger. Yeah, groin injury. I had a groin injury in the military, and I'm going to tell you, and I didn't do physical things. And, that stays. And it's one of those things that you can probably massage in, but it's you can massage it and make it feel better, but it's gonna stick with you. It's gonna stick with you for a few weeks, no doubt. It is probably one of those. It's for all the female that don't understand. It's as close to the grazing, and I'm gonna just leave it there because this is a PG at least show, but it's a feeling where it really hurts. I'm sure y'all telling me in the comments. It really hurts. It is no joke. It really is. So I'm trying to figure out Arthur Blank. If you saw the same, and he did, he was there. He was down on the sidelines. You see your franchise going down in flames. You see your franchise going down in flames. If you want people in the seats next year, I think you better make a move. And here's the sad thing, because I'm going to go here, and I know nobody wants to hear about it, but the truth of the matter is, it's the truth, folks. This schedule is not very tough right now. Now, this is not a Dan Quinn thing. It really isn't. I don't want to. I've been done with him really since mid-year last year. I was done then. So you don't have to ask me where I feel about it. I support the Falcons. I've always supported the Falcons more than coaches or anything like that. Now, if the coach is doing well, I'm going to give him credit. But if the coach is not doing well, I'm going to let him have it. And anything that you're doing to stifle my franchise, and I mean my franchise, my team, I'm going to call you out on it. So let's be realistic, y'all. Our offense is going to score. Our offense is going to score points. We left a lot of points out there in that Seattle game, even with that, because Seattle's defense wasn't jacked. We were lost a little bit. Look, we can't function with this defense as it is. We can't. It's ridiculous. So the longer as Jaquan was telling us, the longer we allow Dan Quinn to stay in this organization, we're allowing that culture to permeate and stay here. And I understand what he says about, hey, we're risking draft picks and stuff like that. I get that. Now, the players on that team, look, you have 14 games left. Nobody suggested that they're going to quit. And I don't think, look, they didn't quit yesterday. They didn't quit. They got outsmarted, but they didn't quit. I'll tell you a point of the game, too, that really, where Dallas was trying to give us the game. I know everybody points to the Julio catch. Yes, a drop, I should say. The Julio drop, absolutely. The 2-point conversion by us, absolutely. Dallas tried to give us the game when they went for the 2-point conversion in the fourth quarter. Because I was saying to myself, why would you go for the 2-point conversion now and make it 2 possessions as opposed to kicking the extra point and then saying, all or nothing on the second go round? And it turns out that probably was a brilliant play by them, because instead of going for the tie, they ended up winning the game. But that was a dumb decision by them. So we were playing just as dumb of a team as we are. But we just made some awful mistakes, man. Awful mistakes. I'm getting some of the comments. If y'all notice, I'm trying to put some of them on the air, on the screen for you that you can see. Rusty, I saw your comment, brother. That is super long, and that's why I put it on the screen. Keelan says, after a timeout, you mean to tell me secure the ball was not said by anyone again? The key to your statement you just made, Keelan, call the timeout. So stupid. You call the timeout, and to your point, as you going back on the field, don't forget to fall on the ball. Nobody thought to say that. Nobody thought to do that. Ridiculous. Jerry says, Rusty, I couldn't agree with you more. We have a completely wasted a 5 and 10 year window with this much talent offensively and a sorry defense. We normally win one phase of the game, which is offense. We lack defense and special teams play. We absolutely lack the defense. Rusty says Isaiah Oliver is trash. When we drafted him, he was the second best cornerback in the draft. Sounds like another DQ coaching failure. I'm looking over here at Matt. Matt says Dan Quinn needs to go. Fundamentally speaking, our team shouldn't ever question an onside kick. Brandon says, fall on the ball. Everyone else cover them up. I mean, simple things, y'all. Super simple things. And that's the kind of things that really blow my mind. Caller, how you doing? Thank you for calling us today. Identify yourself and welcome in.
Yes, my name is Epic, man.
What's going on, man? How you feeling today?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I mean, like, I was just on live on the Atlanta Bird game, man.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna say and just be 100. I'm not gonna beat around the chase, man. Like, Dan Quinn has to go. I'm not even done. Like, I'm not done with the Falcons because, you know, I was born in Atlanta. I'm a Falcons fan to the day I die. I would never burn none of my Falcons here. But this is a point where you have, if you know what I mean, if I was off the blank, this is a point, man. You have to let this man go. You have to let him go. Because I just heard you said that, you know what I mean, like, they called a timeout. Okay? You mean to tell me that if even a 7-year-old knows to fall on the ball?
Try 5-year-old.
Yeah. A 7-year-old. So, to me, this is boiled down to this. This is coaching. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Coaching. And he has to go. Arthur Blank, I get Arthur Blank's a good owner. But Arthur Blank, me, I'm throwing fingers at him. But he's soft. he's extremely soft.
Yeah.
Dude, you blew the Super Bowl, and you watch our team blew the Super Bowl, fall back on Dan Quinn. This man, okay, as far as the stat, NFL teams are 444-0. And now 444-1. We're making history on the wrong side. Dan Quinn. We didn't even do this with Mike Smith. Even in the AFC Championship back in 2012, we made history then. Like we're making history on the wrong side of football. Dan Quinn has to go. And I'm gonna say this: if we lose to Chicago, if Quinn is not fired, they go to show you what type of owner that we have. He likes mediocre. I'm gonna be done.
No. Go ahead. I got one question for you before you go, but go ahead.
Okay. It's just like NASCAR. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can have the fastest car.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have the driver,
right?
You know what I mean? If you don't have the driver to manage that car and drive the car, that doesn't mean anything. That's what Dan Quinn has. Dan Quinn has a roster, but he don't know how to drive that roster. So to me, that tells me it's coaching. And then if you look at New England, like Bill Belichick has no name personnel on his defense, right, but he turns them to the all-stars. You see what I'm saying? Dan Quinn has to go. It's just simple as that. Enough is enough. I'm not even going to blame the players. I'm not blaming nothing. It's coaching. He has to go, or else we're going to suffer another losing season.
Did you watch some of the Seattle New England yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, and this is not the question I was going to ask you, but since you brought it up, even in defeat, New England's defense looks so much better than what our defense looked like. Is that just me? Is that just an eye test thing? I mean, Seattle was good, and Russell Wilson is on some different stuff right now. But that New England defense, to your point, the no names, the people you don't hear about, and remember, Hightower, Chung, and the rest of those guys are out. How good does that defense look?
To me, they're right there to solidify my point.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why I was trying to help out with that. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying. This is how bad our coaching is.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? This is how bad our coaching is, bro. Like, this man has to go. He has to go. And then in his press conference, he said the most stupidest comment.
Which one?
He said, "Oh yeah, my team knows to follow the ball."
No, they didn't.
Really, they did not know.
That's the most ridiculous thing, because if they knew to follow the ball, we'd be celebrating a 1-1 record right now. Ridiculous comment.
Amen.
My brother, thank you so much for calling, man. I'm going to be looking out for you in the Bird game on your videos, man. Thank you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, listen, here's the thing, y'all. We dogged him out those last 2 years, which he deserved to a certain point, even though 2013, he had a lot of injuries. How does Mike Smith look now? And I'm not saying bring him back, but I'm saying it's easy to go back and see it now. There was a lot of bad done during the Mike Smith era, but Mike Smith had a good foundation with this team. Caller, how you doing? This is Steve. Thank you for joining me. Identify yourself for me.
Hey, Steve, this is Glenn, man.
Hey, how you doing now?
Man, about to be work. I'm about to set out about 5 to 6 people.
Okay.
And let's get rough, man. It's been rough.
Did they give it to you?
Man, I've been getting my clock in this morning. How about them Cowboys?
Oh,
All up in here, man.
oh,
I'll make
man.
this real quick for you, man.
Go ahead, my brother.
How is it that we got a defensive-minded coach and the worst man on the field is defense?
That's the $1 million question that I think everyone is trying to answer. We've regressed. If we were going to be this bad, we should have kept Mike Smith.
We should have kept teamwork.
Yeah, that's true, too. That's true. That's true.
I mean, at least with him, we was ranked 6th.
Yeah.
And then 10th instead of 31st, 32nd right now. I mean, I know it's a good game. I'm not trying to overreact.
Yeah.
But, man, how do we keep being on the wrong side of this?
It baffles me. It's embarrassing. More than us losing, it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing how we lost.
If we lost a shootout, I can live with it.
There you go. There you go.
But we keep giving up double-digit lead with less than 5 minutes to go in the crucial part of the game, which is the fourth quarter. That's coaching. That's lack of discipline. That's lack of accountability. And look at the coach. I mean, I'm sorry, man.
You calling it?
I watched First Take for a little bit this morning on my phone. I don't always agree with Stephen A. Smith, but he preached back today. We are the dumbest damn team in the National Football.
I told my friends online today. I said I actually agreed with Stephen A. Smith for a change. That means I'm gonna go out and buy some lotto tickets because it must be something special about today. There was nothing I could disagree with what he said. We looked foolish. We looked stupid. We looked dumb. You know?
I think one more quick thing.
No, go. You good.
I understand that, players have to be professional when they go to press conference.
Right.
And whatever the case may be. But I know I could not be a Falcon right now if I was a player, because I would have been throwing chairs, Gatorade, food, the whole nine. They would have probably had to cut me right after the game. Because I've seen a lack of emotion.
Yeah.
When that play, I see no accountability from this team. I'd be like, hey, Julio, what's up, bro? You're the best wide receiver in football. How do you drop easy but catch the impossible?
Almost wondering, should he have been on the field? He was playing hurt all game. It was obvious he was limping. I would have rather Ridley run that route. I would have rather Gage run that route. They've been catching the ball all day.
The deepest thing on that team is our wide receiver. I would have been like Julio, get this one out.
Exactly. Because they're not paying attention. They think number 11, if number 11's off the field, they think you're going to run anyway.
I mean, man, I'm so all over the place right now. I don't know whether I should be mad.
Well, look, I'm going to throw this up here for you. Some of the good stuff. I want you to get a chance to get you a ball, get you a glass. You took one for the team today, and we appreciate it as Falcon fans. Man, go ahead and enjoy the rest of your night, man. Brother, I appreciate you calling, man.
Hey, Big T, it's always a pleasure for you, Big Dog.
Thank you, sir. I mean, that's you have to think about stuff like that, man. Julio. And I love Julio, and I'm not trying to dog look, it's 1 or 2 or 3 games in his career where you can sit back and say, yeah, Julio, you probably didn't do the great thing. Think about the Carolina game. And then last night is going to definitely be there because that was a big play. We score that touchdown, that changes the momentum of what was going on. How about Gage, by the way, with that arm? Man, I hope he's the emergency quarterback. That was a pretty good throw. That was a pretty good throw, man. And to his point when he was talking about the emotion of the Falcons, and I'm jumping sports here. Boston Celtics go down 0-2 to Miami. And then the report comes out, they're throwing stuff, they're cussing at each other, they're whatever. I'm not saying that's the end-all, be-all resolution to yell and scream and throw things and stuff like that. But you have a point. Where's the emotion? Where's the emotional investment? It's one thing to hear, it's one thing to hear passion, but I don't see it when I need to see it. I need to see somebody come up. I did see Ridley come out and say, man, you got to fall on the ball, man. You got to fall on the ball. I did hear him come out and say it. But I've got to see it. I got to see that emotion, man. I see you, Brandon. Brandon says Julio drops the ball all the time. Say I call Gage to say listen. I did. Last year when the Sanu trade was made, and not everybody, but there were folks losing their mind. We're giving up Sanu. We're giving up Sanu. He's the second best player on the team. Blah blah. I say y'all watching Gage. Gage out there balling and catching, and is cheaper at this moment. You keep playing like that, he won't be. But Gage is solid, man. So that's why I even say, Julio, sit that one out. Really could have run that same route. And we would be in a much better position. But I was going back to say, how does Mike Smith look now? We were mad at Mike Smith because his offense wasn't explosive enough before we got Julio, the explosive play thing. It was kind of a boring type of football. But you look at Mike Smith, 2008 winning record, playoffs. 2009 winning record, just missed the playoffs. 2010 best record in football. We know what happened with Green Bay. 2011 winning record, playoffs. 2012 NFC Championship loss, but playoffs, best record. And in 2013 we had the injuries, and even 2014 with a horrible record, we still had an opportunity to win the division on the last game. Y'all remember that? My son and I went to the New Orleans game. We went into New Orleans. New Orleans is gonna beat y'all down. Y'all 5-10. No way you can 5-9 or whatever it was. No way you can win that game. And them boys got this stuff together, beat New Orleans, and then Carolina ended up dusting us off the next day. I mean, the last game of the year. But at least the Mike Smith era, there was an identity. So I've been hearing that about the Falcons, an identity. We don't have an identity right now. I know they got Gurley to run the ball, and he did. You know, he got the carries. We're not getting the results from the carries. I'm still going to give him a little shot because it's way too early to go Steven Jackson comparisons, because at least I see 7-yard runs. But boy, I'm yearning for Mike Smith days. Is that crazy? Is that just me? What is the identity of this team? That's coaching. The evil genius up in New England, you know what his identity is. His identity is, I'm going to play defense and let number 12 do his thing when he was there. Seattle, made no bones about it. We're not going to get any offensive linemen. We're going to let Russell run around, improvise on plays, get some little speed receivers. That's our game. But we're going to play defense. Before McCarthy left for Chicago, for Dallas, we're going to make this offense as good as we can. We're going to try to outscore everybody we can outscore. And then that's our identity. So that scares me, that we're coming up against that, and we just don't have that and we should. Good point right here, Brandon. Rusty says at least Smitty would turn red in the face. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something too. Yeah, I'm all down for rah-rah. I'm all down for that, because sometimes you have to do that sometimes to get your team. But that rah-rah doesn't work when you're not winning. Y'all, Mike Smith won a lot. And the last 2 years didn't show, but I think those last 2 years, I think him and Arthur, remember, he didn't have the autonomy with the players like Dan Quinn did. He didn't have any personnel decisions. Carla, how you doing? This is Steve. Thank you for joining us. Identify yourself, please.
Hey, what's up, man? My name's Bill.
Hey, what's going on? How you feeling, man? Well, here it is. Okay, let's try this then. 24 hours later, how do you feel about everything? Once you stop throwing stuff around, your Dallas Cowboy folks stop messing with you?
I know. I made that point where I don't know nothing. I'm gonna tell you how far I've been at this point. I've been at this point since Super Bowl.
Okay.
And reason being, when the Jacksonville Jaguars fired Gus Bradley, Dan Quinn should have been doing everything inside but bring that man stand up. Because Dan Quinn is not a head coach. He never has been a head coach. Mm. He basically got the job off Gus Bradley's defense. Right. So, and at the same time, they still lost the Super Bowl with that defense, with Dan Quinn calling that defense.
Yep. Because he was just on the squad when they won, right? Because he had just come from Florida. He wasn't the DC when they won. He was just on the team when they won.
He was the D-line coach.
D-line coach, right. When he took over the defense, that was the one where Russell threw the interception at the goal line. Okay, right. Just for those who keep, and I'm gonna let you finish. I apologize. Just for those who let you know, Dan Quinn, even though he was the defensive coordinator, again, that really wasn't his defense. He's right. Gus Bradley, he inherited that defense. Go ahead, brother.
And with him inheriting that defense, he still gave up a lead in that same Super Bowl.
Yes, he did.
So Dan Quinn has always cracked under pressure. Like I don't see it. I don't see him winning this game next week again. I feel like Mitch Trubisky gonna come in here and have the game against
man. Boy,
look at
if Mitch Trubisky come into this stadium and put up 300 yards and 4 touchdowns, woo!
Like he's gonna put up 400. He's gonna put about 400 yards.
Boy. And here's the thing. So I've asked a couple of people, and I haven't had a chance to go back to that. So I'm gonna ask you. Even though it's 24 hours later, and I know that the yuck, nasty, and stink is out, I'm still one of those players fans, I should say, that's just gonna still ride. I'm riding the Falcons. I don't ride a man more than I ride my team. So, what silver lining coming out of yesterday that makes you say, you know what? If it's gonna be a chance in hell that we could turn this season around, what did you see yesterday that made you think that's what we're gonna have to do?
Play every quarter like the first quarter.
Yeah.
It don't get no better than that.
Yeah. That first quarter. Did somebody talk to Foyer? Did he talk to Peanut Tillman about them fumbles and how to call it? Dude, textbook. I remember my son playing in he used to play for Georgia Extreme a couple of years ago. And when he was 9 or 10. And they used to show them how to punch the ball out when the runner is held up. He did that 2 times yesterday. And I'm saying to myself, man, at least they trying to teach them a little bit on there. Now, I don't know what they teach in the secondary. Secondary might be a different story. But I was just impressed that we had that many turnovers.
I'm going to say this before I get out of here.
I'm sorry.
To your point on Mike Smith, one thing about Mike Smith, we knew it's not the defense was going to win or break.
Yeah, that's true.
One of the two.
That's true.
We knew.
That's true.
We knew we could get in games and have a situation where the team may come back, but Mike Smith will have that clock management to the point where he know he can get Matt Ryan on the field, and Matt Ryan can drive down there and give us for the win to go.
Yeah, and every time you knew what you were going to get out of Smith. That's the one. I agree with you, brother. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate the time, man. Call me back, please.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
All right, brother. I mean, very good points. Very good points. You can't, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you say after that. Dan Quinn, when you really think about that, to his point, he was the defense coordinator of a Super Bowl team, but they didn't win. And I'm not trying to listen. I was riding Quinn during the Super Bowl year like everybody else was. And I'm not going to sit here and try to pretend now that I forgot. He did a great job getting us to the Super Bowl that year. He took over the defense and did whatever he did. But the honeymoon is over. Honeymoon was over 2 or 3 years ago. It's time for some results, and it's time to start holding him accountable. So that's where it comes in with Arthur Blank. And Arthur Blank has to realize, or somebody up there with Arthur Blank, is it Rich McKay? Is it Rich that says, yeah, Arthur, now that you got me back from the Atlanta United and now I'm running stuff over here, you know what? The players aren't. Yeah, and you know what it might be? And I'm going to take a John Harris ism. Maybe it is the fact that he's a player's coach. Maybe it's the fact that they all have a nice, shiny relationship with him. Maybe it is the fact that he is too buddy. I don't know. I'm just trying to find out what are the answers to getting this team turned in the other way. I did want to mention, and this, look, this is, I'm just saying this hypothetical. I'm not trying to suggest that we're going to turn around and do the whole thing. I'm not saying that. But we're 0-2. Listen to our schedule for the next 7 weeks. And this is why I say Dan Quinn can't be the coach, because I'm not, he'll blow this. We have Chicago next week. Does anybody seriously think Chicago is a legitimate 2-0 team? They beat up on the Giants after Barkley got hurt, and sounds like he's out for the season. Then we go to Green Bay. And while Green Bay has also showed that, yeah, they're going to score some points with you, they gave up some points yesterday too with Detroit. There's nothing special about their defense. So, you know, at this point, if you got to score 50, then score 50. You got Carolina, and then at Minnesota, who's 0-2, Detroit, Carolina, and Denver. I'll get back to that in a second. Caller, how you doing? Thank you for joining us today. Identify yourself.
What's up, Steve? It's Jimmy.
Jimmy, what's going on, brother Jimmy? My brother Jimmy, Hallway Conversations. Y'all make sure y'all check it out. Give me the platforms that's available on again. I know I got mine subscribed, so I already.
iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, almost anywhere you can find.
All right, brother. All right, man. You know the floor is yours, man. Tell me what you saw. More importantly, tell me how you feel 24 hours later. I saw some of your comments yesterday coming through too. Do you change your stance that the honeymoon is over with Quinn?
The honeymoon should have been over. And here's why I say it. If you really look at what Quinn has accomplished since the end of last year, it's absolutely nothing. And here's what I mean by that. For 2 years straight, the Falcons had a shot at the playoffs. Yep. And when you look back at it, we started the season slow and it's strong both times.
Yeah.
Could have had top 10 picks to actually help us on the one side that everybody is saying we have Achilles heels on, which is defense. But Quinn tried to make it look like, hey, defense ain't really an issue. I can actually coach him.
Right.
So now you look at yesterday. like I said, this is why I didn't want to really go and done too hard on it because sometimes he has his valid point. But again, I had to look at something he said yesterday. He said the offense left roughly about 47 points on the field. Here's where I stand with that. Okay. Offense could score 50. If defense is giving up 51, you have a problem.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you're taught, even I was taught back when I used to play football, offense, yes, they are the ones that wins games. But defense never stops.
That's true.
You have to play to that final whistle, regardless to what, because why? The other team has one goal in mind, and that's to beat you. Defense should go into every game with the same mentality. 0 is the number that you should be looking at from upside. Not 40, not however many points we gave up people in the Seattle. But every week, we're finding ourselves in these situations.
Right.
The same press conferences every week happen with Quinn. Those are starting to get old.
And not only old, but now we're at a point where we saw it in 2018, slow start. We saw it in 2019, slow start. What did even Matt Ryan say himself that we can't do to start this year? You can't start slow. So,
and again, you can't blame that because the man is top 5 and has 1 interception. We blamed him for fumbling a lot last year, throwing interceptions. There's no fumbles this year, 1 interception. So you can't put this on Matt.
Listen, I'm so sick of Matt bashing folks. And I know last week it was a different story because, you know, people were questioning the yardage and stuff. And let's remember what that pick was too, Jimmy. That pick was the end of it was less than 30 seconds left in the game. And he was trying to kind of just throw it up and get a last second touchdown so we could at least get an onside kick. He was going for that. So as much as it is an interception, but let's keep it real. He was forcing that to try to come back. Matt Ryan has been really good. And next to Grady Jarrett, who I think if we had a 2-game season would be your MVP. Next to Grady Jarrett, Matt Ryan and Calvin Ridley have really shown off this year so far. So far. I was looking at, as I was just going through, and I know I could talk to you about this without people thinking I'm trying to jump the gun. We're 0-2. The season is not over, y'all. I know I'm mad at Quinn. I'm mad at Quinn. I am frustrated with him, and I don't think it would hurt us to change. But I look at this schedule the next 7 weeks, Jimmy. Where Chicago, and it really doesn't matter whether we come or go because fans not significant anyway. But for the record, Chicago comes here. We go to Green Bay. Then we have Carolina here, Minnesota, 0-2 Minnesota there, Detroit Lions here, at Carolina, and then and Carolina, by the way, who McCaffrey is going to be gone probably for those games that we're going to play. And we played Denver, whose quarterback was just lost for 4 to 6 weeks as well. In the smallest remote, Jimmy, do you see a chance for at least 5-4 before the bye?
I think we can. The only 2 teams I think that we may lose to, and a lot of people may hate me for saying these 2.
See if I match you.
Bears may be able to slip up and beat them.
Think so?
It's not because of the Trubisky. It's because of their defense. Okay. And the other game will be the Green Bay Packers because as much as that game will be a shootout, I just think Aaron Rodgers' number that much better on offense.
I would tend to agree with you to a certain point, but I think sometimes even with this, I think this offense is pretty good. And I think if they protect Matt, some semblance of what they did yesterday, and Dallas was supposed to have all these defensive junk. I know they were missing their middle linebacker, but we were supposed to get trashed by Alton Smith. We were supposed to get demolished by this front four. And Matt stayed clean. That one sack he got again, that was at the end of the game where he knew he couldn't throw the ball away and he didn't want to make a dumb call. Now, I'm not trying to play Mr. Overconfident, but I look at those 7 games and I say, listen, still play your game, but it starts next week. Now, if we lose to Chicago, yeah, Quinn can't stay. He can't. He can't. But I think we got a chance. What do you say?
I think we have a chance, but like I said, even if I think we get to 5-4,
right,
still we have to pull the plug. We have to at least lose no more than one more game going towards that 5.
Now, look, I didn't say that about the second half because I think that second half is that's gonna be ugly, Jerry. Look, I'm trying to make the fan base feel good. I'm hoping at least we can have something to smile about. Look, you in order to smile, you had to split one of these 2 games. You had to split one of these 2, and you lost your opportunity to do that. So I'm not down with that. I'm gonna get one more answer from you. Even though how horrible the game ended and whatever, who was your MVP for yesterday for the Falcons?
It has to be, even though he went out early, Foyer did a darn good job yesterday.
Man.
The other guy has to be Ridley.
Yeah.
Ridley is showing that he's a good route runner now. You cannot stop him one-on-one.
Ridley is still in the spotlight, away from Mr. Jones. And I'm almost at a point where I say, you know what? Let him sit and look, our wide receivers are okay. But yeah, I'm at a point where there too. I see that. I see where you just let Julio sit and let's see what Ridley can do next week. Let's see what they can do. Brother Jimmy, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you as always. Hallway Conversations, folks. Y'all check it out, man. Thank you, my brother.
No problem.
All right, man. So again, just get the 24 hours thing is over. We're going to suck this up. We're going to inhale and let all the ugly out and see what we got going into the week. Just another week that we have to just, get ourselves together, man, just to try to see what we can do. It's crazy. Caller, how you doing? This is Steve. Thank you for joining me. Identify yourself.
Chi-Town.
What's up, man? How you doing, brother?
All right.
Man, what is going on, man? Listen, y'all doing all right.
Yeah, I know your heart is hurting, but that's good because when we come to town, we're gonna try to pluck some wings off some dirty birds.
So since you're on, just give me a quick preview because I'm not even gonna lie to you. I got a chance to see a little bit last week, and since Chicago is coming up this week, you all are 2-0. You kind of lucked up yesterday because Saquon Barkley got hurt, so I know they weren't ready for Daniel Jones to be the man. But what do you see going into this game as far as the advantages that the Bears might have?
Our defense, if our defense holds up, we should be able to stop you guys from scoring in the air or on the ground, period. The way y'all playing, y'all confidence is not high. Y'all don't know if y'all going to get fired or what.
That's
Hopefully
true.
we can play that to get us a victory. We take a win any kind of way we can in the NFL.
Oh, absolutely. Look, I make no excuses. If somebody's down, you got to keep them down. Tell me what you've seen. I haven't had a chance to see him at all. Mitchell Trubisky, is he? I know he's been disappointing the last couple of years. They're 2-0 though. Is he playing any better, or is it really mostly the defense doing the job?
Percentage-wise, he might be 5% better, but he still hasn't shown up. Because once we get up against a good team, that's going to be the test. He can't throw interceptions. He's got to make receptions or hand the ball off and let our running back gain 10 yards to make first down or get in the end zone. So far, I think we've just been lucky. We haven't been tested right yet. So as soon as we run up against a good team, a team that's hungry and just as determined as we are to win, that'll be our big test. That hasn't happened as of yet.
Well, here's the thing. I'd rather be lucky and 2-0 than good and 0-2. So you
and hope for the best.
You know we hurting over here, man. Brother, I appreciate you calling me, man. Thank you so much, man. Good. Y'all hang in there, brother. And you got to call me next week, win or lose.
Oh, yes. That's for real.
All right, brother. Take care, man.
All right.
That's my brother, Clarence, is one of the deacons, one of my fellow deacons at my church, and from Chi-Town, and represents them hard. He will definitely give an unbiased opinion on what's going on with Chicago, because I know he has lived and died with the roller coaster career of Mitchell Trubisky during the last couple of years. So we'll be. That was some good points, though. You come in and you take advantage of a fragile team, and we are a fragile team. We are definitely a fragile team. So I hear you, brother. Dexter comes up and says, "Don't y'all get too big on Ridley. He's open because people accounting for Julio, and I love Ridley, but let's get real." No, listen. Nobody's trying to say he's Julio yet. And let me make that clear. That's not what I'm saying. But sometimes when you go to that well too many times, especially when you're not truly 100%, you almost say, I would rather go with the guys that are healthy and take my chances. Now, you're right. If Julio goes out, the automatic double team or the safety lean will definitely go towards Ridley. You're absolutely right. But I've seen him run some pretty good routes. And look, we haven't said one word today about Hayden Hurst. And you don't need to catch 15 catches a game to show your worth. But the flashes I see from Hayden Hurst, he looks like he might be a pretty good replacement for Hooper, who hasn't caught a lot of passes, by the way, up in Cleveland for the money they're asking. So I'm kind of glad that move was made. But remember, Hurst is kind of on a prove it year this year as well. He was a first-round draft pick that they had to jettison out of Baltimore. But I like what I see out of him. There are things to like about this team. And it gets overshadowed by all of the ineptitude of this coaching staff. I like the growth so far of the offensive line. Yeah, we had a couple of things to square away with Seattle, but you couldn't ask for a cleaner pocket against Dallas. Shoot, Matt running the ball a couple of times against Dallas. So from that standpoint, while I'm really not trying to, overpump the offensive line, it's just nice to see Matt Knight not running for his life as he has been in the previous years. Todd Gurley, I would love to see him get started a little bit. He gives us a couple of nice runs, some nice strong runs. He's going forward instead of backwards. Defensive line, even though yesterday Tack Tak's absence was absolutely felt. I see the comment coming up. Paul says Fowler was quiet. Yeah, he was. And you thought when Tak left that maybe he was maybe he'd step up a little bit, but maybe that showed how much we missed him. That groin injury, that's gonna hurt us, y'all. That's gonna hurt. The linebacker, Foyer getting hurt, that's really gonna hurt us. I haven't seen an update. And normally when they don't give quick updates, that's not good news. They hurried up and gave an update about McGarry, which lets me believe usually when they give you a quick one, that means that they probably are going to be back pretty soon. But I haven't seen any updates in McGarry. I'm looking on AtlantaFalcons.com as we speak. That's really the only injury it looks like they are speaking to at the moment. Say Tak, we knew about the groin injury. Foyer or Luakon left. He was cramping and came out with a hamstring. That hamstring you gotta be careful with. Yeah, I did see this news, Sherman, where it said the Giants are trying out Devonta. Good for him. I hope he gets a chance. And now that Saquon Barkley is out, so it's not like he's doing a fill-in job. He probably is going to take the job if he gets it. But Devonta was asking for big money, so let's see how that ends up working out for him. But yeah, we still have a long way to go, and I'm still frustrated with this coaching staff. But at the end of the day, I'm still riding or dying with my Falcons. I haven't gone anywhere. Quinn, I mean, I'm decided. I don't have the money. I'm not the one hiring them, so I can't tell Mr. Blank what to do. But at the end of the day, I also said, I just got riding down with my team. And guess what? At 1 o'clock next week, I'm going to forget everything that happened last week. And if we can get a win against Chicago, you start with one. You start with one and you move on. But I tell you what, if we lose a third game of the year, and you got third game of the year, and then you go into Green Bay, yeah, good luck with that. So that's it, man. That's the Monday evening rehab, man. Thank y'all. Y'all have been real interactive today. I appreciate it. We're going to do this every week again. It's the rehab when we lose. It's the recap when we win. I'm ready for that first Monday evening recap that we can do. Hopefully we'll get a chance to do it this week. Please, y'all check me out if you get a chance to. I have the Falcon Fan Freestyle. That's the podcast. Falcon Fan Freestyle. Free podcast. It's on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, just about everything that Jimmy was on with his Holloway conversations. But the Falcon Fan Freestyle, you'll see my bobblehead on top. And then if you guys just spread the word to other Falcon fans. We do this every halftime of the Falcons game, and then after the game, we talk post game. If you want to, I also do things on my own timeline, so feel free to put a friend request out. I'll be glad to do that. But then just spread the word, let everybody know, man. We try our best. We let y'all do whatever y'all want in the comments and stuff like that, but we try our best to keep it as clean as we can so we can keep the videos repurposed to other places. But I don't mind y'all doing what in the comments. I know how to muffle it out and do what we do. But y'all make sure y'all check out the podcast for me. I do that during the week. I just released one this morning. Still kind of hot about the loss. So check me out, man. Y'all have a great week. We'll talk to y'all probably closer to Thursday or Friday and do a preview of the Chicago game once we get all this stinking stench out of us right now. Until then, y'all have a good one. Rise up. Look, I know we can't do anything about Quinn, but we can still root for our team. That's what it's all about. Rise up, y'all. Y'all take care. Have a great week this week.